In this video, I'm gonna show you that to create video content that looks like a high-end production, you don't need fancy gear. Just focus and tweak some small things you've already got. So, let's do it! Hi, I'm Henry, and this video is brought to you after an amazing partnership with Skillshare that helped me produce my newest class with them about video production, but more on this later. So let's kick off immediately with the first category, lighting. Now there are mainly two things to consider, softness and direction. Now first is softness, and this is how much shadow and contrast your light is generating. If you only have natural light from a window, direct sunlight is madness, and a cloudy day is gonna be a blessing for you. And since you have no option of choosing, you're gonna have to deal with what you have. So what you can do is put some kind of white sheet or white layer in front of the window to make it much softer. Look the difference it makes. And now direction is at which angle you're gonna put the light from you, be it vertically or horizontally. Now let's talk vertically first, and if you do it from below, it just looks a little bit weird. Frontally is a beauty light that really softens your face. From above it looks a little bit creepy and creates some unwanted shadows. But if you're filming a terror movie, then it's fine, I guess. Now 45 degrees is the sweet spot. Thinking sideways, the more you go to 90 degrees, the more contrast you're gonna have and the more dramatic it's gonna look. And also in this case, 45 degrees is perfect. But of course, it all depends on the mood you want to convey in your video. Now for the second part, let's talk a little bit about your camera. And there are several settings you're gonna have to dial up in your camera before recording, but there's one that you can play with that is really cool, and it's the frames per second. Now videos are just a sequence of photos. You're gonna decide how fast the person watching it is gonna read it, and also how many shots you wanna show them. Check it out, let's use 25 frames per second as an example. And if you just show like this to your audience, which is pretty fine for a talking head video like this one, if you show them a little bit less, it just looks like it's jumping around a little bit. It's cool for time lapses, but maybe not for talking head videos. And now if you do the opposite and you show them more frames than it's necessary to see it fluid, then it's gonna begin to seem like slow motion, because it takes them more time to see the same scene. But this is not cool only for you to have slow motion, it's also cool to stabilize your image. Check out these two shots from the same thing. One is at 25 frames per second, and the other one is at 100 frames per second, slowed down to 25% speed. All that jitter and jumping around is so slow now that you can't really notice when it's played at this speed. Now each camera is gonna offer you a different selection of frame rates and resolutions, so you have to check which one your camera offers and use that if you want to do some product shots or show something on top of what you're talking. Now just a pro warning, if you're using your smartphone, do not use the slow motion or ultra slow motion feature for this kind of stuff. It is very useful for very fast motion, but at the cost of reducing your resolution. So if you don't need it, don't go for it. Now let's talk audio, and whatever way you're recording the sound for your videos, your microphone should be maximum 2 hands palms or 50 centimeters or a little bit more than 1 feet away from your mouth. So if you're using the built-in microphone from the camera, slap in a very wide angle lens so that you can bring the camera closer to the subject, and then you're gonna have a little bit better audio. Now if you're like many of my students with an entry-level camera, like a DSLR like this and a 50mm lens, you're gonna have to be a little bit farther away to be in frame. And in these cases, you have several different options that might work for you. One of them is simply using a lavalier microphone with a very long cable that you can connect to the camera over there and have the microphone on you for very clear audio. You can also use an external recorder, like a proper recorder, or even your smartphone with some kind of app that can record audio. But like this, you're gonna have the video on the camera and the audio on a separate place, so you're gonna have to synchronize them both. Or if you're willing to invest already in something more practical, you can have a wireless microphone that is going to be connected to the camera and on you, so that you don't have any cables lying around, and in the end you have the video and the audio all in the same place. If you want to understand a little bit better how it works, check out this card over here. Now just a quick pause because I have a very cool gift for you. I just launched my newest class on Skillshare, all about video production by yourself. And if you use the link in the description, you can watch it entirely for free, and not only my class, but for a whole month, you're gonna be able to watch any other class in the entire platform. It's a little bit more than 1 hour divided in 15 lessons that are gonna tell you how to set up your camera, how to set up your studio, your lights, your audio, and even how to edit. And it's really cool because there's a lot of interaction between teacher and students in a way that you can do your homework and you can do the final project of the class post it there and I'll be able to see it and give you some feedback. Anyways, if you're interested, the link is in the description, and let's go to our fourth point, talking to the camera. Now, this is probably the most difficult part for everyone, because filming, maybe you can get by, maybe with the wrong settings, but it's gonna work somehow, but talking to the camera, you can get totally stuck with. Now, one cool trick that I recommend is writing your script and using this Teleprompter app that is just going to roll up everything that you wrote so that you only need to read it. Put in some confidence like you have it on the top of your mind and you're good to go. Now, there's just one catch. If you have it really close to you, the person watching is gonna be able to see your eyes moving around. So the hack here is to put it as far as possible in a way that you can still read it actually, and zoom in the camera just a little bit. This way the movement of your eyes are almost unnoticeable. Now, if you don't have space or a zoom lens, just put some sunglasses and pretend you're trying to look cool. Now, regarding editing, usually the recommendations I see are for you to just pick whatever, because all softwares are kind of like the same. And this is true, but not. So the concept is kind of similar. You're gonna have a timeline where you're gonna lay all your videos, organize them in the order that you prefer, cut what's unnecessary, and put on top small images, titles, or whatever else you wanna add to it. But it's when you begin to edit that you begin having ideas that are gonna be tough to do with whatever software. So no need to spend money, but let's get some good stuff here. Now, for PC or Mac, my recommendation for you is to use DaVinci Resolve. It's totally free and it's super powerful. It has so many tools built in and it's very easy to use. Now, if you're gonna be editing on the smartphone, I recommend you to use Capcut. It has so many features, even that you see only in desktop versions of softwares. And it also packs some really cool transitions and effects that you only see on it and that are very trendy. Okay, I promised 5, but I'm gonna give you a bonus tip. While you research to do your video, you're gonna find many visual references, small text, you're gonna have some random ideas, and you wanna write it down all in the same place to make your life easier. And to do this, I really recommend you to use Milanote. It's a very visual way of planning everything, in which you can just drop everything there, just copy and paste. It's going to accept all kinds of medias, and you can link everything with arrows, lines. It makes it so much easier to have everything visually in the same place for you to understand what you're going to do. And whatever you upload on it is gonna be on the cloud. So if you open on your notebook or on your computer, it's gonna be all the same, always available. Alright, so now it's up to you to let me know in the comment section below which tip you liked the most, or if you have any other hack or trick that you use that you could suggest to other people watching this video. And don't forget to use the link in the description to have 1 month free of Skillshare, including my class. Now, if you just want to continue watching something fun and interesting, check out this video over here, in which I talk about my favorite wireless microphone. Audio is definitely the first thing you should think about upgrading. Alright, I'll see you in the next video, or there. Ciao!